Nobody has a system like this.
A powerful computer, all of which feed into this control center housed in a secret location.
It did look promising from the beginning.
There are all sorts of forms of honest grafts.
As the official history maintains, or had something else happened.
I'm Steve Kruff.
I'm Morley Safer.
I'm Scott Pelley. Those stories tonight on 60 Minutes.
And as you are about to see, the biggest challenge is often avoiding temptation.
Are you a subversive?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very actually normal and healthy amongst young men. You see it in skateboarders that are competing to show that they are capable in learning the best tricks.
You obviously have a mistrust of authority. Where does that come from?
The darkest of night.
A little paranoid?
I didn't tell my own family.
So you've always been a little bit of an outsider.
Yeah.
You've called him a prisoner of conscience, correct?
The foremost prisoner of conscience in the United States.
I mean, you see yourself as a check on the power of the United States and other big countries in the world, and in the process of doing that, you have now become powerful yourself. Who is the check on you?
Our special forces are the best of the best.
And it's that kind of informational currency that translates into real currency. Maybe it's over drinks, maybe somebody picks up a phone.
All we need to do is give them an encrypted key.
Long before it's public, long before somebody wakes up the next morning and reads or watches the television or whatever, you've got it.
The evidence that we had was not absolutely conclusive.
It should be said that much of the evidence is based on personal recollection and rumor.
And if you can trade stock off of that information and do so legally, that's a great profit-making opportunity, and that sort of behavior goes on.
That's correct.
He remembers them being stopped late one night and questioned by authorities.
It did look promising from the beginning. Keep in mind that, obviously, when I was still campaigning for president,
You don't care to elaborate?
then I sure as heck am not going to be revealing it to folks who I don't know.
By the time President Obama arrived in New York City on Thursday,
To be searched, just to make a scene.
the results became a jumping off point for our own story, and we have independently verified the material we used.
Based on apocalyptic briefings that he had had the day before, set aside that it's the right thing to do, it's good politics.
Then he said, don't accuse anybody else, which is an odd thing to say.
They kind of get them, and they say, well, we don't want you to leave, but how about working the night shift?
So it's a rather difficult journey and extremely difficult to imagine.
We need to find out whether they're part of a blind trust or not. And
Peter Schweitzer thinks the timing is suspicious.
Parking in handicapped spots.
Yeah, I mean, he always kind of felt, I don't succumb to authority. So, that's just who he is.
The idea that he would feel a need to scare away crows just never made any sense.
He could drive himself by magical thinking.
there are all sorts of forms of honest grafts.
All of which feed into this control center housed in a secret location.
The smart set.
SmartSet came here.
Gathering valuable non-public information and turned it into a profitable business model.
Without being on television,
Nobody has a system like this.
on one of the city's greatest landmarks.
And just as the sun was setting,
They used a portable X-ray to look inside,
as the official history maintains, or had something else happened.
We had to suspend him some 5 months ago.
People said he smells so bad that they didn't want to work with him.
And the way he lived made it so he didn't have to use deodorant or shower that often. It was an incorrect theory.
We were able to keep this thing secret.
And there was a smoking gun of sorts.
a powerful computer actually watches all of the cameras at once.
Because this was in a residential neighborhood.
The area was a magnet for painters like Cézanne, Pissarro, and Corot, giants of modern art.
No, that's not at all true. That's some kind of media hype.
And I kind of smiled and said, yeah.
And so from that point on, we started looking at what our options might be.
That's clearly not true.
Well, it did not go exactly according to plan.
I'm the boss that suspended him.
And Murphy's Law applies, and something happens.
That account fit all of the known facts.
The town is all about people saying, what do you know that I don't know?
He said, sometimes I believe in God, Sometimes I don't. I think it's 50-50 maybe.
At the end of the day, this was still a 55-45 situation.
Pretty great system. You feel like an idiot to not take advantage of it.